Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Podcast. Today is Thursday, August 29th, 2019. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's baseball games, look ahead to today's games, tennis, go over yesterday's results in both the men's and women's U.S. Open, look ahead to today's and pick today's Week 1 college football picks just for Thursday night. You give out the Thursday night picks, tomorrow's picks, and Saturday's picks will come on tomorrow's podcast, and best bet of the day. All right, baseball. Everybody played yesterday, and today there's some teams traveling and whatnot, so without further ado, here we go. Brewers over the Cardinals 4-1. A big win for the Brewers, much needed. 68 and 65 on the earth. St. Louis 73 and 59. Jordan Lyles to win. Jack Flaherty to loss. Josh Hader to save. Lyles 5 in the third inning, 6 hits and a run, a walk, 9 strikeouts, ERA 4.55. Flaherty 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts, ERA 3.31. Phillies over the Pirates 12-3. The Phillies are 69 and 63. Pittsburgh is 56 and 77. Vince Velasquez the win, Mitch Keller the loss. Velasquez 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.86. Keller 4 innings, 11 hits, 8 runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, ERA 8.62. Yikes. Nats over the Orioles 8-4. The Nationals are 74 and 58. Baltimore 44 and 89. Wander Suero to win. Asher Wojciechowski the loss. Max Scherzer started 4 in the third inning, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, ERA 2.46. Wojciechowski 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 5.12. Yankees over the Mariners 7-3. The Yankees are 88 and 47. Seattle 56 and 78. James Paxton the win. Justice Sheffield the loss. Paxton 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 runs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 4.39. He wasn't his best, but he still gets the win. I'm talking about James Paxton. Justice Sheffield in his first start of the year, 4 in the third inning, 6 hits, 5 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 7.94. He showed some promise but fell apart there at the end. Braves over the Blue Jays 9-4. Atlanta is 81 and 54. Toronto is 54 and 81. Luke Jackson the win. Jacob Blazepek the loss. Mike Fulton-Nevich 4 and 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 5.59. Waguespack 3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 3.93. Cubs over the Mets 10-7. The Cubs are 71 and 61. The Mets are 67 and 65. Kyle Ryan the win, Noah Syndergaard the loss, Craig Kimbrell the save. Neither of these starters were good last night. Kyle Hendricks, 4 and 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts, ERA 3.47. Noah Syndergaard was worse, 3 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.14. That was probably one of the worst starts of his career. Indians over the Tigers 4-2. Cleveland is 78 and 55. Detroit 39 and 91. Aaron Savali to win, Buck Farmer to loss, Brad Hand to save. Aaron Savali, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 1.96. Jordan Zimmerman, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 6.24. Reds over the Marlins 5-0. The Reds are 63 and 69. The Marlins are 47 and 85. Anthony DeSclafani to win, Sandy Alcantara to loss. DeSclafani, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, ERA 4.05. Alcantara, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, ERA 4.22. Twins over the White Sox 8-2. Minnesota is 81 and 51. Chicago 60 and 72. Jake Odorizzi to win. Russ Dittweiler the loss. Odorizzi 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, ERA 3.55. Dittweiler 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 5.96. Astros over the Rays 8-6. The Astros are 87 and 47. Tampa 76 and 58. Will Harris the win. Diego Castillo the loss. Cole 6 and 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 14 strikeouts, ERA 2.85. Yarbrough 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, ERA 3.36. Royals over the Athletics 6-4. That's a pretty big upset. KC 47 and 87. Oakland 76 and 56. Getting the win for Kansas City was Tim Hill. Blake Trinan to loss, Ian Kennedy the save. Jacob Junis, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts. ERA 4.93. Roark, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts. ERA 3.3. Red Sox over the Rockies 7-4. The Red Sox are 72-62. Colorado 59-75. Eduardo Rodriguez the win. Peter Lambert the loss. Brandon Workman the save. Rodriguez 5 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 3.97. Peter Lambert 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, ERA 6.63. Dodgers over the Padres 6-4 in 10 innings. This was an entertaining game. Dodgers are 88-47. San Diego 67-71. Kenley Jansen the win. Kirby Yates the loss. And getting the save for the Dodgers after Kenley Jansen blew it in the ninth, Casey Sadler. Starting for the Dodgers in this game was Kenta Maeda. 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 4.11. And getting the start for the Padres yesterday was Trey Winkenter. An inning and a third, a hit, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 5.05. Rangers over the Angels 3-0. Texas is 65-69. LA 64-71. Ariel Gerardo the win. Getting charged with the loss for the Angels was Miguel Del Pozo. Jose Leclerc the save. Getting the start in an opener role for the Rangers was Emmanuel Clace. An inning, a hit, no runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts, ERA 3.97. Patrick Sandoval, 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, ERA 5.24. Today's games at 1 o'clock, you have the Indians at the Tigers. Mike Clevenger and Daniel Norris. 1:15, Athletics Royals, Chris Bassett and George Sparkman. 2 o'clock, Twins White Sox, Jose Berrios and Dylan Cease. Rays Astros, Andrew Kitteridge and Zach Greinke. 7 o'clock, Cubs Mets, John Lester and Jacob deGrom. Cubs going for the sweep. Reds Marlins, Alex Wood and going for Miami, Robert Duggar. Mariners at the Rangers at 8 o'clock. Felix Hernandez and Lance Lynn. Pirates Rockies at 8:40. Trevor Williams and Chichi Gonzalez. 9:40 Dodgers Diamondbacks. Hajian Ryu and Merrill Kelly. And 9:45 Padres Giants, Chris Paddock and Derek Rodriguez. All right, men's tennis. We'll go over the results first from yesterday. Look ahead to today. Nishioka over Klon in 4 sets. Federer over Zoomer in 4 sets. Djokovic over Lindero in 3 sets. Final walkover, Dimitrov and Koric and Kofer and Opelka. Kofer came out on top. And today, one final so far, Daniel Goffin over Berari in 3 sets. Going on right now is Garin and Demanor. I'm going to go with Demanor there. Some of these are actually supposed to go off yesterday, but are going on right now because there's rain, so they had to postpone them. Lajovic and Kudla, I'm going with Lajovic. Cuevas and Marchak are going on right now. I think Cuevas comes out on top there. Dan Evans and Lucas Pioli, I'm going to go with Pioli there. Zverev and Francis Tiafoe, I'm going to go with Zverev there. Lorenzi and Kekmanovic underway, I'm going to go with Kekmanovic. Don't feel good about it. 1 o'clock ESPN, Stan Wawrinka and Chardy, I'm going to go with Wawrinka. Lopez and Nishioka, I'm going to go with Nishioka. Delian and Medvedev, I'm going to go with Medvedev. Brooksby and Basilvi, I'm going to go with Basilashvili. Carino Busta and Barankis, I'm going to go with Carino Busta. Berrettini and Thompson, I'm going to go with Berrettini. Poprian and Kukushkin, we're going to go with Poprian. I think that's going to be a competitive one. That's a 1:30 match. And then Delian and Medvedev is 1:15, by the way, as well as Berrettini and Thompson and Lopez and Nishioka. Oh, and Wawrinka, Chardy, and Brooksby and Basilvi are 1:15 as well. There's a lot of 1:15 matches. Also, a 1:30 match, Bedini and Pieri. I'm going to go with Pieri there. 3 o'clock ESPN, Isner and Struff. We're going to go with Isner. 3:30, Rublev and Simone. We'll go with Simone. Bublik and Fabiano. We'll go with Fabiano. Andujar and Sonego. We'll go with Andujar. 5 o'clock, Sandgren and Pospisil. We're going to go with Sandgren. 5:30 ESPN, Laskinen and Shapovalov. We're going to go with Shapovalov. Diego Schwartzman's going up against Gerasimov. We're going to go with Schwartzman. Hoang and Nick Kyrgios. We're going to go with Kyrgios. 6 o'clock, Verdasco and Chung. We're going to go with Verdasco. 6 o'clock ESPN, Monfils and Kopel. We're going to go with Monfils. Kokinas and Nadal, 9 o'clock ESPN2. We're going to go with Nadal. And Stevie and Cilic, we're going to go with Cilic. All right, we're going to switch over to the women's side now. There's a lot of stuff going on right now because obviously there's rainouts yesterday up there in Queens. Svitania over Venus Williams in 2 sets. Madison Keys over Zhu in 2 sets. Barty over Davis in 2. And Serena over McNally in 3. Today, finals so far, Pliskova over Bulkvadze in 2. Wong over Van Utevic in 2. Yastremka over Peterson in 2. Martic over Bogdan in 2. Petkovic over Kvitova in 2. Going on right now, Mladenovic and Ferro. I think that Ferro will come out on top. Sakari and Peng. We're going to go with Sakari. Swiatek and Sevastova. I'm going to go with Sevastova. Jabeur and Sasnovich. I'm going to go with Sasnovich. Muchova and Hisshi. I think it's going to be Hisshi in that one. And Kenim and Siegman. I'm going to take Siegman in an upset in that one. 1:15 ESPN. Simona Halep and Taylor Townsend. I'm going to go with Halep, although I think Townsend will be competitive. Alexandrova and Zhang. We're going to go with Zhang. That's also going to be on ESPN. Kontaveit and Tomovic. We'll go with Kontaveit, although I think Tomovic can and is capable of pulling off the upset. Also on ESPN at 1:15, Naomi Osaka against Lynette. We're going to go with Osaka. 1:30, Seresta and Bulsova. We're going to go with Bulsova. ESPN 1:30, Joanna Konta and Gasparyan. I think Konta comes out on top. Elise Mertens and Kristina Pliskova. We're going to go with Mertens. Pavlyuchenkova and Kiki Bertens at 3 o'clock. We're going to go with Bertens. 3:30, Kanepi and Vecek. We're going to go with Donna Vecek there. ESPN, Cornet and Benchik. We're going to go with Benchik. Gorgeous and Di Lorenzo. We're going to go with Gorgeous. Flipkins and Andrescu. We're going to go with Andrescu. That's an ESPN. Ostapenko and Risk. We're going to go with Risk. Kalinskaya and On. We're going to go with Kalisenko. That begins the 4 o'clock matches. Sabalenka and Punitseva. We're going to go with Sabalenka. 7 o'clock ESPN2. Caroline Wozniacki and Danielle Collins. I think this is going to be a really fun matchup to watch. And I think that Wozniacki is going to come out on top. Coco Gauff and Taylor Babos. And we're going to go with Gauff in that one. That's also going to be on ESPN2. And that wraps up the women's side. Week 1, college football, starts tonight. I'm going to give out my picks for all the matches. And I'm going to go down the lines and totals via DraftKings, as I normally would. That or FanDuel, but I'm going to go with DraftKings on this. So without further ado, here we go. UCLA Cincinnati's the first game. It's on ESPN. It's going to be fun. Cincinnati's a 2.5-point favorite. The total is 57.5. I'm going to take Cincinnati to win this game and cover the 2.5. This is a very contrarian play of me. Everybody loves UCLA and Chip Kelly. And I better jump on this before it gets to 3. So, give me Cincinnati at home. It's a blackout there. Their fans are going to be fired up. Crowd's going to be ruckus. So, my play here is Cincinnati minus 2.5. And I think the narrative of this is going to be, oh, Cincinnati can challenge for New Year's Six competition after this game. Wagner and UConn. UConn's favored by 17.5. The over-under is 70.5. UConn is perhaps one of the worst, if not the worst team in the country. They're horrible. They'll win this game. I don't know if they'll cover or not, so I'm going to go with the total here, and I think it's going to be an under 70.5. I can see UConn winning this game like 30-20, and it would still go under. So, give me UConn to win straight up, but the total to go under the 70.5. Albany and Central Michigan. Central Michigan is favored by 16. The over-under is 45. These are tough numbers to call. I like the over. I think Central Michigan can score on Albany, and I won't be flabbergasted if Central Michigan went over on the total by themselves. I won't be surprised if this is like a 47-20 type of ball game. So give me Central Michigan to win the game straight up, but my play here is over 45. Morgan State and Bowling Green. Bowling Green is favored by 24.5. The over-under is set at 49.5. Bowling Green's supposed to be one of the worst teams in the country. Morgan State is not a very good FCS school. This is a tough one. I'm going to go over here as well. The total is 49.5. I think that this could be a 33-24 type of game or something like that where the total goes over. Like, I won't be surprised if it's 40-20 or 35-15. That would work for an over. But watch, it's going to be like 30-10 and it's going to be an under and I'm going to lose. So give me the over in the Bowling Green Morgan State game, although I don't feel good about it. But Bowling Green obviously to win the game straight up. Robert Morris in Buffalo. Buffalo is favored by a whopping 45.5 points. The over-under is 63.5. I think the line is too big. I think Buffalo is taking a step back. I think Buffalo will win the game, but I think Robert Morris keeps it within 45.5. And I absolutely love the hook. I think Buffalo wins this game like 50-17. That would work. And that would mean Robert Morris covers. 50-17 would absolutely work. It's a 33-point game. So I think Robert Morris can cover this game easily. So give me Robert Morris plus 45.5. Buffalo obviously wins the game. Delaware State and Delaware. Delaware is favored by 25. This is an FCS versus FCS school. I think Delaware probably wins that game, but I can see State covering. So there's a bonus FCS pick for you. There's a lot of FCS games in here. 7:30, you have Gardner-Webb and Charlotte back to an FCS type of game. Charlotte is favored by 32.5. The over-under is 54.5. Charlotte was a team that showed some improvement last year. I believe they won 4 games, but their schedule is harder this year, so I'm not sure if they can surprise folks yet again. So this is a tough one for me. I'm going to go on the under here because Charlotte, to me, is not very good offensively, and I could see them getting some stops on defense. And I'm not saying that they are bad offensively, per se, but I just don't think they're as good as offensively as people think. So I like the under here, and I could see Gardner-Webb getting some stops. Like, even a 40-10 Charlotte win would get me the under. Also at 7:30, I have Florida A&M and UCF. UCF's favored by a whopping 46. The over-under is 65.5. The over's a no-brainer here. UCF is a great offensive team. I think Brandon Wimbush is going to be motivated in this game, and he's going to put up a lot of points to prove that he's the guy for them this season. So I love UCF here, but UCF's defense sort of stinks. And I could see Florida A&M scoring about 20 points. But I could see UCF scoring potentially 60. So they could really push the over by themselves here. So give me UCF straight up, but over 65.5 in the game. And obviously Charlotte's going to win their game straight up. Central Arkansas and Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky is only favored by 10 points. The over-under is 54.5. I don't think Western Kentucky is going to be very good this year. I think that they're going to take a step back. So, and Central Arkansas isn't a bad FCS team. So you know what? I'm going to hold my nose and take the plus 10. I'm not suggesting that Central Arkansas is going to win this game outright. but I'm suggesting that I could see it being like a 33-24 game. So I think Western Kentucky wins straight up. It'll be a close call. FIU and Tulane at 8 o'clock. Tulane's favored by only 2.5. The over-under is 57. Tulane is a team that I don't think is getting its respect here, and I think FIU is overrated in the spot. They're on the road, not at home. So I think that Tulane crowd is going to be ruckus, and I really feel like I'm stealing points here with Tulane in the 2.5. So give me Tulane minus 2.5, although I love the over 2 at 57. Tulane wins and covers the 2.5. Georgia Tech and Clemson. Clemson's favored by 37. The over-under is 61.5. This is tough. I think the number is right around where it should be. The over-under is, I think, right around where it should be too. But I could see a world where Clemson dominates the first half, but takes its foot off the gas in the second half, and maybe Georgia Tech puts up a little bit of, not a fight per se, but I could see a world where Clemson pulls some guys and they start to look ahead to Texas A&M a little bit. So that's the case for taking Georgia Tech against the spread. But I'm intrigued by the under. I think 50-10 could do it for the under, or a score like 45-14, which I think is a very realistic score for this game. So I'm going to be a little contrarian here and take the under 61.5, and I feel like this is a 45-14 ball game. Alabama State and UAB. UAB is favored by 38. There's no over-under set here yet. I'm just going to take the minus 38 and run. Alabama State's not a good FCS team, in my opinion, so I'm taking UAB minus the 38, and I think that they're going to want to go out and prove some doubters in this spot a little bit. Texas State and Texas A&M. A&M's favored by 33. The over-under is 56.5. I love the over here. I think that Kellen Mond is going to spread it around. Texas State's defense is atrocious, and I think Texas A&M could put up 50 in this game. So I think Texas A&M wins by a score of 50-17 or something like that. So I absolutely love the over in this spot. South Dakota State and Minnesota. Minnesota's favored by 15, but it looks like they're in the process of moving the number. The over-under is 56. I love the Golden Gophers and the points. They're a much better team than South Dakota State. South Dakota State's not a bad FCS team, but I just think that Minnesota in 15 points is pretty sexy, if you tell me. I think Minnesota should be favored by more than 15 points. So give me Minnesota minus the 15 points in that spot. Kent State and Arizona State. Arizona State's favored by 24. The over-under is 59.5. I think the line is low, but I also think the over-under is low at 59.5. So I'm going to go with the over 59.5, and I think that this game could be in the 60s. I could see Arizona State winning by a score of 37-23, so the over just hits there. So give me Arizona State to win straight up, but I like over 59.5. Northern Colorado, San Jose State. San Jose State's favored by a whopping 16 points. The over-under is 59.5. I think Northern Colorado getting 16 is an absolute steal. I just think San Jose State is atrocious, so give me Northern Colorado plus 16, although I think San Jose State will probably win the game. Utah, BYU, that's the best game on the board. Utah is favored by 6.5 points. The over-under is 47.5. I like the Utes a lot better this season than I like the Cougars. I think this game will be competitive. I think that there will be some defensive stops and defensive plays here. So that's what makes the under somewhat intriguing. A very tough call. I think a lot of people like BYU, and that's a popular underdog pick, so I'm going to be contrarian and take Utah minus 6.5. I don't feel good about it. I'm holding my breath. let's just hope they win by 7 points, and we'll call it a night. So give me Utah to win and cover the 6.5 points. My picks for Friday and Saturday will be on tomorrow's podcast. Best bet of the day, brought to you by DraftKings. You have some interesting options here, but I went to go with baseball because there's so many big favorites in baseball that I think are near locks. Indians, Athletics, Twins, Astros, Reds, Rangers, Dodgers. Only 35 cents. Plus 1568 odds. Payout $5.84. That's it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping tonight's football games for week 1 of the college season. Look ahead to tomorrow's and Saturday's games and pick them. Obviously, baseball will do the same, as well as the U.S. Open. Best bet and any other news that happens in the world of sports. Look out for a surprise podcast tonight that may or may not feature my friends. So we'll see about that. And I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.